after not making it an 0-2, but a 1-1, and how much did that specifically play in your mind when it turned out to be such a close game one again, and just the mental aspect of possibly going 0-2 on your first day, Afro? Or Sticks, eh?
All right, I guess I'll go. Since not going 0-2, we definitely weren't going to let that happen. The first two games that we played versus RNG and Flash Wolves today, they're definitely really good teams, and all the best teams in their region come out to play. And they're really tough opponents. They definitely capitalize on every single mistake, and usually we're not like used to that. Them just flying out of nowhere and just capitalizing on like a poor rotation or something like that. So first day, it was definitely, I would say, pretty impressive on how both teams played. When we played against them, I thought they played really well, and we played decent, I would say. But we definitely messed up a lot, so.
Well, you say you played decent, and I was looking at that first game specifically, Sticks, and at some moments you were making decisions, you also specifically in the team, that were like, this is not the best CLG that we know. Do you think some of that has to do with the first time playing on the stage, the first time playing under all of these circumstances?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a factor. Luckily for us, this stage is actually really similar to the one in Vegas, Mandalay Bay. So it's almost feels like comforting because it feels like we've almost like played on the stage already.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, definitely it's just like the first day. I think people are a little nervous and we're not having the best decision making. So.
Well, it's normal. It's forgiven all on the first day. Afro, you mentioned the teams coming out and immediately acting on the rotations and coming out to fight. Is that because that's not usually the teams, maybe besides Immortals, that they like to play in the NALCS? Is that a big divide that you see? And is that something you're going to have to adjust to throughout the tournament?
We're definitely going to have to adjust to that. I would say the two teams that we played against so far, they definitely are active on the map, really proactive, and anything you do that's not, let's say, fast enough or calculated enough, you're going to lose a lot more than what you get. So we just have to definitely factor that into how we play the game, and definitely clean up our rotations, make it a little bit crisper, as well as our decision making, and we should be good going into the rest of the tournament. Yeah,
it should be good going into the rest. As said, it's only a first day. Sticks, of course, we know that CLG has this big thing hanging over their heads of international tournaments and experience. IM Katowice, of course, wasn't the best, but what are your realistic expectations for this tournament?
Well, personally, I think a lot of people underrate us, and a lot of people just, in general, underrate North America as a whole. And I think we can place top 2, for sure top 4, but I think we have a pretty good shot at top 2 if we just improve throughout the tournament.
Well, top 4 would be a good thing to begin with. You mentioned underestimating NA. Your jerseys are really decked out. Tell me about the attire for MSI.
Well, we're just repping America. We got some cool stars, got some bands here too. So
mm-hmm.
Our general manager, Macom, had these made for us for this event, and he's very big Captain America fan.
Kind of looks like him.
Thanks, Macom. These jerseys are actually really sick, so I'm happy we have them.
Yeah, you guys definitely look great, and good luck for the rest of the tournament as well. Maybe one final question. If you talk about North America, of course, if you get top 4, you get that first seed at Worlds. Is that important to you that it is for the region of North America, because it might in the end not end up going to you, or is it just for CLG's performance that you're playing here?
I would say it's for both reasons. We definitely want to perform well and show that we're not just regular NA stereotype that people consider NA to be, but we definitely want to get that top 4 seed for our region as a whole. I think it would definitely help us, and we're here to represent NA, so why else would we be here?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything to add, Stixxay, are you good?
I'm good.
All right, cool. Congratulations. Fantastic. 1-1 here at CLG on the day, and I'd love to hear our guys over at the desk talk some more about that game.
Thank you very much, Shock. CLG doing North America proud, picking up a win there to make it 1-on-1, 1-and-1 rather, on the day against the Flash Wolves. And Aframu there, though, in the interview, humbling to hear him say, or rather to praise both of the teams that they played today in their punish game, particularly in the punish game. And I know that we've already talked about that a little bit, Clement. That is something that Flash Wolves is very good at. They are decisive in their reactive play.
Yeah, I just wish they would come out of the door swinging a little better. They had such a huge advantage early. They burned double flashes from their bot lane, and that actually, they ended up losing the lane very hard because of misplays. So I really hope Flash Wolves cleans up their early gameplay a bit.
Let's dive right into that because that kind of set the tone for the entire game, at least through the early game, is that first blood trade. Deficio, as this comes up onto our screen, Clement already mentioned that in the 2v2, they had blown both Aphromoo and Stixxay's Flash leading up to this.
Already back from level 2 with an all-in, and then this is supposed to be a very easy gank from Kasa, just taking a kill here on Aphromoo, but what ends up happening is the heal comes in later, I guess, than Flash Wolves expect, so they end up diving on the tower, and then a beautiful hook also pulling in NL. So instead of it being a very easy early kill, pushing into the tower and just reset the wave, it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. Because also what happens with Dashawn, he actually comes in, has 2 seconds cooldown on his E. That's why he doesn't knock him into the wall and kill him, and end up chasing too far.
And then
but that being said, he still had Flash. So when it came off cooldown, he could have Flash whilst done that. There was no reason why he needed to die there.
I was being a nice guy.
Look, even as an NA fan, I won't be a nice guy there. We got to clean that up.
I don't know whether it's the nerves or the stage or the travel or something, but like that happened. These games are a mess.
So messy.
They're so messy. How many steals are we going to see before a team decides to not do a 50-50? Like, I am sick and tired of all these 50-50 jungle v jungle matchups. 3 Baron steals, a 5th Dragon steal.
You know what I'm tired of?
They have to clean it up.
Seeing an AD carry do extremely well in a team fight, getting a quarter kill, getting close to a Penta. Next fight, he's in the front line, getting caught and dies. It's happened multiple times today.
They're getting so confident, right? Like, there's so many big swings in these games from overconfidence. Like, G2, they got the first Baron when they did a 50-50. So they thought they could just do it again.
The game was basically won, and then randomly you end up dying left and right. This game here, Flash Wolves in the end were looking like the team that should have won. But obviously, when you lose so many dragons early on, it's a big problem. It was the same, obviously, we've seen before from the Flash Wolves, and it comes into like a very passive mid lane pick, first of all. And then when you actually had the advantage in the bottom lane, you couldn't capitalize on it, and you suddenly lost the 2 lanes around the dragon. Same thing happened against G2. And then you start falling behind in objectives, and even when you should win, 1 random steal, 5 dragons, boom.
Right, so then I'm going to return to you, Clement, because I know you already said it. You wish they would come out the gate swinging a little bit more, but then how do you expect them, or what would be your suggestion to Flash Wolves on how to do that, besides just start winning lanes? Is it champion picks? Is it just something they need to change in terms of overall macro strategy?
I think there's 2 kinds of Flash Wolves. One is the kind of passive early game with the Azure and Gangplank, and the other one is the Maple go crazy. You pick a Lee Sin or something.
Right.
The LeBlanc and the Zed mid. And right now they're playing kind of the slow type of style, and sometimes that really gives too much leeway to the opponent teams. It might not get punished domestically, but in international, that really kind of backfires on them a bit.
Now let's talk about 2 members of that team, though, that stood out. I mean, the first being Maple, that GP, Riv and Krepo were talking about it, was terrifying. On top of that, gotta give some props to MMD for his echo play in this game. It was actually pretty stellar.
Yeah, so MMD is actually the highest ranked top laner in this tournament. He has actually Korea Challenger like 800 points or something. And about Maple, the story with Maple's Gangplank is that he actually went 0-2 with it in 1 game, and he was just like, I need to train this champion. And at the end of the split, it was like his best champion. We call him the AlphaGo Gangplank because he's just like, I'm gonna smart cast this, I'm gonna consign that, and then you're dead. It's like magic.
It worked.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was that moment at the end where it was like, oh, CLG's got this, unless he snipes somebody, and then he does snipe somebody. So maybe he will. Hold on. CLG does close it out. You know, things that I want to discuss on CLG's side then is this Caitlyn pick. You know, didn't win in game 1, but still showed that it perhaps is Stixxay's most comfortable, and it does allow CLG to set up these trap pushes.
Yeah, and it depends if they decide to stay consistent with the way they play throughout this entire event, but what it seems to be doing is they're picking strongly to dominate the lane phase with the early Caitlyn pick. That's why they're prioritizing supports for Aphromoo. That's why they're picking Thresh away. And then in the mid game, they slow down. That's when they do 1-3-1. Yeah. They kind of ease through the power trough in the middle for Caitlyn as he's building up to get the double Zeal items and really turn on. And I actually think it's working great for them. The fact that they've been able to stall up these mid games, and if not for some big mistakes in both of these games, it could have swung either way, but I don't think the reason it swung was from the Caitlyn. I think the Caitlyn has actually worked out tremendously well, despite it not being a meta pick in any of the other regions.
I agree on that point, and I think other regions have picked it up more and more as like a 3rd, 4th option when it comes to AD carries. But what else it gives, NL is an option here, or an example, but it also gives to CLG is late game insurance. Because CLG as a team, when they are ahead in gold, when we have seen them in the past, and also in this game here, the 1-3-1 was not very effective. Like, we didn't get to see many great TP flanks coming in where they were like snowballing the game. So they end up having these situations where they do well early on, then it goes you know, back and forth in the mid game, but then they have this late game pick in Caitlyn.
Yep.
When we get to 5-6 items, and Stixxay does have decent positioning in these fights, and he ends up cleaning up a lot of kills.
Yeah, something we haven't touched on, and we will touch on the flip side of this break, is the importance of the matchups of these 4 teams that are sitting in the middle of the pack. So very important for CLG to have picked up that victory. They may have ended their day on a high note, but there's plenty more MSI coming your way as Europe's challenger to LCS, rather to MSI team G2 Esports go up against Korea's SK Telecom. Don't touch that browser. We'll be right back.
Just remember the thing that got you here playing as a team, keep each other positive, make sure you're communicating even if you fall behind for any reason, and just play together, because that's how we're going to win. That's what got us here, and that's how we're going to win. Right, guys?
All right. Got it.
Okay, kick ass.
Looks like they'll be able to back up. We have Maple on the backside here that's going to come into this fight. They take down Stixxay, and now they're looking for NL. Darshan's trying to go hard on that one. Xmithie just dodges the collateral damage. Darshan very, very low. Who he's stuck in the front. Will he be able to claw himself out of this one? That's the lantern in. Darshan looks like he could be going down next.
I just need to kill them before they come
Go
out.
barrel, he'll steal it.
Hey, shoot this guy if he goes for the ward.
Right, I'm not go.
I'm going on this.
I'm going.
They can't go in. They can't go in.
Jade's got it.
I got them. I got them out.
Let me out.
Let Jade do it. Let Jade do it. Do the Baron.
I got that.
I go still.
Stixxay and Aframu standing toe-to-toe with Maple, and now it's Karsa. Karsa comes out. It's only a few shots from this many items on a Caitlyn, and that's gonna look to be the necklace. The necklace. The necklace. The necklace.